short shout out to my wife.
Right.
She's celebrating her birthday tomorrow.
Okay.
This is Marianne Addison. And then the head of Credit Risk, ADV, Ahmed, they are all listening to us live. Yusuf is listening to us from UK. Yusuf is the CEO group, CEO Holliman's group of companies in London.
Okay.
They are all listening to us. And then I'm also happy that Mr. Samuel Boafo, HR for Carbank, cannot miss this program for anything. So these are some of the people that, if God willing, we have the opportunity. We'll also be.
You have a lot of people who are listening to you.
Seriously.
Because this topic is important.
That is it. Emotional intelligence is the way to go. The people that have mentioned their name, they have everything. They have everything when it comes to qualification and their expertise. The few that I've just mentioned. But especially Ahmed has been at one of my trainings before. What is that gentleman looking for to be at the training of this? So quickly, what then is listening?
Right.
Very, very important. One of the key building blocks for effective leadership, as well as a very good, successful entrepreneur, is your ability to listen. Now, I decided to look at listening under communication, because we are tempted to communicate, that everybody take communication to basically mean speaking. It's your turn to speak. But then there's one particular block that we've left out when it comes to communication. And that is what I want to look at. And that is the listening. Now, effective communication is very essential for a successful business. Now, entrepreneurs will have to communicate. There's the need for them to speak, because they need to speak their visions, their beliefs, their values, expectations, aspirations. They also have to communicate for them to get funding, attract investors, partners, customers, staff. And I wish to look at this vital area of a simple communication. Now, God has a reason of giving us 1 mouth and 2 ears. That simply means that He wants us to listen at least twice as much as we want to speak. That tells us that listening as part of communication is very, very essential. Now, it is also worthy to note that entrepreneurs need to listen in even to what investors are saying, what team members are saying, what employees are saying, listening to their mentors, and even listening to their competitors. Any successful you and the boss is answering to email, is WhatsApping. So I want us to look at a few things that really distract us. The essence is that when we become aware of this, then we will do that conscious effort to make sure that we don't normally do them. Pressure schedules. People are very busy, multitask, and they think that at any point in time, they need to be found doing something. Now, fatigue may also come in, preparing for a response. Most of the time, one of the challenges that fight against our ability to listen is that we are just getting ready with a response. We are preparing for a rebuttal rather than listening. And we normally do that because we have a lot of perceptions already. We know what you are telling us already, what is new about this. But when you fail to listen, you fail to learn. And when you fail to learn, you fail to grow and expand as a business entrepreneur. So we need to be able to have all these things checked very well in order to ensure that we are really communicating. Now, it is not every listening that produces that kind of resource that we want to see as entrepreneurs. So I will want to look at what I have named empathetic listening. Empathetic listening. And how do you define that somebody is listening? And it's also good to note that there is a clear difference between getting ready to speak or respond than listening. These are two major differences. Getting ready to speak is not equal to listening. Now, when you are getting ready to speak, it means perceptions have gone in, decision is already taken. You don't want to be that assertive, but rather bullying. So you are not ready for anything different from the one that you really believe is the right thing. So what then are some of the building blocks to ensure that we're really listening to get the benefit out of listening? Now, the first thing that you have to do, as you've said and hinted, is that we should suspend all agenda for that moment. There's nothing about you now, a business owner, the leader, the team manager. When somebody is speaking and you are not just getting ready to respond, but you are listening, then you must suspend everything. We are talking about putting a suspend on responding to emails if it's possible, putting the phone away and off. Elsewhere, even in warehouse, I've lived in UK before, even in warehouse, you can't be in a warehouse with your phone. It has to be in your locker somewhere. And one of my cousins will tell you, nobody will die within that time. So if you are really want to pay attention to somebody at that split second, having the phone somewhere is an indication that you are really listening to the person. People looked at you, right, in order to determine whether you are really interested in what they are telling you or not. It doesn't only show disrespect when you are engaged and you still claim to be listening, but you also lose sight of certain clues